Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Kathy. In this video I'm going to show the turning point, the day where everything went from a normal day with the Whitakers to a all-out emergency to get restraining orders and eviction notices and all this other stuff overnight. To us it appeared to become overnight, but I'm going to show you how just from August 24th to the 25th, how it just all overnight went from, like I said, just another day to, to all this commotion and all these emergencies. And I find it interesting. I did a video today. I put out a video earlier, and it showed how he admitted that this was an emergency because they needed social security cards and all this other stuff. All this unnecessary things, all these things that you did not need to drag in the authorities to get a burial plot arranged, which they already had. And anyway, he's trying to create an emergency where there is none. And it's because of what he's got going on behind the scenes with him and BJ. And I suppose Patrick, and maybe Larry, I don't know, everybody behind the scenes. We don't know this is going on. But let's look at the pivotal moment where everything changed. And this was on August 24th. And I don't know where this is. I think this was a Facebook video or something. I have a lot of clips. Because I anticipate they could take these pages down. So I've spent a lot of time archiving clips. And so I cannot go back and find this video. But this was on August 24th. And this is the first time that they are talking about anything concerning birth certificates, anything like that. Now let's look at August 24th. Okay, so August 24th is down here. This is on a Sunday. Eric's at home. He's doing the video that I'm about to show you. And this is the day that they booked his two friends to fly in on the 3rd. He's got the tickets. He announced he's got tickets. Now, to us, it looks like everything's fine. They just went to the movies. They just had a bunch of fun, and now Eric's home, and everything's still normal. But tomorrow, all hell's going to break loose, and it's going to be the first thing that we ever heard about BJ arrested, BJ evictions, BJ restraining orders. But as of today, it's just a normal day I'm about to show you. And he's just going to kind of ease into this whole thing by talking about raising money for the house and raising money for the what ifs, okay? What ifs with Timmy. Now, remember, he wants to take Timmy home here on the 6th. Okay, so, but to us, this looks like it's just going to come out of nowhere, right? But let's back up and just look behind the scenes. Because behind the scenes, there's been a whole lot of stuff we never got taught about. We never got told. We never got informed. What we didn't know was that back here on August 1st, this stuff's been going on for a month. Eric never told us. Everything was wonderful. Wonderful. Okay? But now all of a sudden, BJ is like, like I said, Friday night SmackDown at the Whitakers here, all of a sudden. So let's go back up, though, because what we don't know is all this stuff on August 1st. Eric and BJ were talking on the phone secretly behind Patrick's back. Patrick's mad. Eric's not answering his calls. He goes down to the Whitakers and he finds out that BJ and Eric are secretly talking behind Patrick's back. All right. Then Patrick and Eric get into it, and Patrick shows the picture of the copper behind BJ's camper, which I showed in a previous video. And with that picture of the copper, he tells Eric it's not a good look to be hanging out with BJ with all this stolen copper. Okay. Then BJ leaves the Idaho with Robert Mass after he's been gone for a whole month. He supposedly goes home for a few days. And in this time, remember, he's already communicated with BJ behind all of it. Not just behind Patrick's back, but behind our back. But so we don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden, bam, arrests start happening. The scrapyard guy's arrested, another guy's arrested, BJ's arrested. Everybody's going down for this copper that came up last week. So as everybody starts going into jail and BJ gets arrested, Eric comes back from home and he's back for another week. Look at that. He's at the Airbnb. And he's got Timmy this time. He's got his eyes on Timmy. Well, as soon as BJ gets bailed out, we don't know none of this. But BJ gets bailed out. We didn't even know she got arrested. But Eric knows this. Patrick knows this. BJ gets bailed out behind the scenes on the 14th. Eric goes back home. Okay, he's back home. Then Patrick breaks his leg. Larry steals the gas. And Eric comes back. Eric is back 3 days. That's when he goes to the movies and all that stuff with the Whitakers. Then he leaves home again. And this is the day where everything's normal. And this is the day where all hell breaks loose. So let's go back to this last normal day in the Whitaker reality, okay? What we saw. The last normal day that we saw, because believe me, there was no normal days. And according to Patrick and Eric, trouble started way back here that we never saw. But let's go back to the last normal day that we saw on the 24th, before all hell broke loose. And here it is. Like I said, I can't find this video anymore, so I'm glad I got these clips. So here it is, August 21st, and I labeled this August 24th. And I labeled it August 21st, 4th. No, sorry. August 24th, 4th. First time talking about what if something happens to Betty and Larry. And he starts calculating what he's going to need for the caregiving, okay? So he's on this 24th. Everything's still fine as far as we know. Eric's just having a normal podcast. He's home in Georgia and all this other stuff. But we don't know nothing about emergency yet. We don't know BJ's been arrested, nothing. But on August 24th, he starts planting the seeds, the what ifs. What if? What if something happens with Larry Betty? We got to start getting some Social Security cards. This is when he starts planning his, absconding with Timmy, in my opinion. Go ahead, Eric.
Everything we do, we got to make sure it's protected, make sure the family's protected. And then on the top of that, guys, you still got to get Social Security cards, got to get IDs, birth certificates. It's pretty overwhelming. I didn't realize how bad it was until I got here.
How bad what was? Still has to get Social Security cards and all this other stuff. Now, this is interesting. I'm going to read it because the closed caption is going to cover it up. But somebody, and now, mind you, the Whitakers are fine. Nobody's heard nothing about no abuse. Everything's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So nobody knows anything about abuse. So their biggest concern right now, on the 24th, on Sunday the 24th, the day before all hell breaks loose, their biggest concern, the audience, is can we get a caretaker to clean the house so all this stuff we give them doesn't get wrecked? And that's what they're worried about. They're worried. Their biggest worry is that their gifts are going to be wrecked in their dirty house. So the question says, can you get a caregiver for them? Now, they're asking Eric to get the caregiver. Can you get a caregiver for them so they will have proper supervision and care? So, for them, nope. So, the stuff that you and us give them doesn't get completely misused and trashed. So as you can see right now on Sunday, August 24th, the biggest concern right now is that the Whitakers are going to trash their gifts that they get. All right? Go ahead. I'll let him read it.
Common question. Michael Dickinson, can you get a caregiver for them so they will have the proper supervision and care so the stuff you or us give them don't get completely misused and trashed. Obviously, I mean, me and Patrick are acting as supervisors of that. I'm in Georgia. Right now, Patrick's laid up in the hospital, so we're doing what we can. But the goal would be, yes, we would like to get them a caretaker.
Sometimes I think these questions are staged. You know what I mean? Like, I know. Let's tell them. Let's have them insist that we get caregivers for, and he's going to calculate the cost. I have it on another video. He actually calculates the cost at $300,000 a piece per year. So for Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray, it will be $1 million a year. Anyway, he's already. But this is just a normal day, right? They're worried about the stuff getting trashed. Nobody knows about BJ. Nobody knows about abuse. None of that. Go ahead.
Right now, Patrick's laid up in the hospital, so we're doing what we can. But the goal would be, yes, we would like to get them a caretaker that can not only help make sure things stay clean, but to make sure that they're taken care of. As of right now, if something happened to Betty and Larry, Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy, guys, I think they would end up going to a home. And none of us want that.
No, not a home. And this is the first time he plants that seed. I don't know why his eyes look crossed, but anyway, just look at no. And he's got the audience begging, no, Eric, don't let him go to a home. Like, what are you talking about going to a home? But this is the first planted seed about them needing caretakers, needing Social Security cards, just because. And like I said, the audience is more concerned about them trashing their gifts than their safety or anything like that. But he's like, no, if anything happens, so this is the first what ifs, August 21st, the what ifs.
As of right now, if something happened to Betty and Larry, Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy, guys, I think they would end up going to a home. And none of us want that.
Aww, like little puppies. No, they wouldn't. And as you can see, also on Facebook and YouTube, everything is business as usual, right? You got August 23rd, it's talking about Patrick's leg being broken. Everything's fine. Everything is just fine. Oh, and on the 24th, the day where we just saw where he's starting to get concerned about the what ifs, that's August 24th. Okay, they're rolling out the website that they paid D. Wayne, God knows how much to make. So they're rolling about that. Nobody's worried about nothing. This is just a regular August 24th Sunday, right? Now, they're also on August 24th. They're also a little concerned that people are, cloning their page and getting money that they want. Somebody's plucking their pigeons, you know what I'm saying? So he's worried about somebody, duplicating his page and getting his views. Again, August 24th, no worries about BJ, no nothing, right? We don't know nothing's going on. We just think everything's fine. They're duplicating his page. Like, what the heck? All right. August 24th. Yeah. Anyway. So they're just regular day. August 24th. August 24th. Oh, look at Timmy. He's shopping. What's that, Walmart? I don't know. But just regular. Oh, here's. Now the 25th, that's where Eric rushes back. And then after the 25th, that's the Monday he comes back. All of a sudden, he's got Timmy back at the Airbnb. And, on the 26th, within 2 days, all hell has broken loose. Over the past 24 hours on August 26th, Patrick and I have been working on behalf of the Whitakers to make sure B.J. Whitaker was served with an eviction notice to leave the property. No, it's first everybody's heard about a problem with BJ. In the past week, there's been a lot going down, including her going to jail. No, that was not in the last week. It was 3 weeks ago. And there's been a lot going down with all three of you, BJ, you, and Patrick. Like I showed you on that timeline. In the past week, there's been a lot going down, including her going to jail. No, she went to jail, which I think you had something to do with, personally. And she went to jail, and she's gotten bailed out of jail a week later, and now it's been a couple more weeks. So, no, it wasn't last week. He's acting like this just happened. BJ's in jail. She's gone completely insane. She's hitting everybody in the head with shoes. She's got to go, okay? So everybody's like, their head's spinning. And this is where they brought Dwayne in the picture, too. All right. In the past week, there's been a lot going down, including her going to jail, which is a lie. That was weeks. They've already gone through so much behind the scenes we don't even know about. We will get more into the details later, but I'm currently on my way to West Virginia to make sure I can get there for the Whitakers and Patrick, and we'll give you more updates as we can. Keep us in your prayers, guys. And this is something that needed to happen for a while now. Well, you didn't tell us nothing about it. And as a matter of fact, as of 2 days ago, you told everybody for the entire time, months now, you have said since your first video, leave BJ alone, leave Larry alone. They're fine. They're not doing nothing wrong. Now you're saying that things have been needed to happen for a while now. Yeah, Eric, we found out about the copper and that kind of stuff. And how you're running from Airbnb to Airbnb with people chasing you. And you're comparing yourself to Charlie Kirk. Now, yeah, we realize now that things were going on behind the scenes because we had to find out for ourselves because you didn't tell us. So we had to go snooping on our own. All right, go ahead. Let's see. Okay, so he's on his way back, and that's when he gets this video, and he talks about BJ wanting him. And he makes it sound like he's another Mark from Soft White Underbelly that BJ's just badgering for money. You know what I mean? Like, oh, here she goes again, guy. Now she's trying to get me to get money. No, Eric, tell us about the last 4 weeks, what's been really going on. Now, he doesn't tell us nothing about that he's been having some type of relationship with the Whitakers behind the scenes, including BJ. I don't know what the deal, but they were secretly friends. Until now, something just blew up, and I think we all seen what it was. Keep us in your prayers. And guys, this is something that needed to be happen for a while now. The family cannot continue to live like this. And truthfully, it probably should have been done a long time ago. Done? What done? You spent all summer with them and everything was hunky-dory till 2 days ago. Anyway, let's see what he's got to say. No, this is the crack of dawn on Tuesday the 26th. Pretty sure it was Tuesday. BJ has been served an eviction notice. Okay. So now he's still only been home 24 hours in Georgia. But he's back in the truck. Sun coming up. And he's going to head back to West Virginia because now he says because again now BJ's hogging the phone. You tell me if this is emergency to leave your family again after you've been gone for 2 months straight. Anyway, so this is a big emergency. This is why you got to come back. And this is the first we've heard. This is the first we've heard. The first video. We've seen a couple posts, but we heard nothing yet. So we're going to see what he's got to say here. And he's coming on his way back. Now, before I start this, I personally want to give my opinion what I think happened. I think, and then now when you listen to this, keep this in mind. Remember a month ago on August 1st, a month before this, Eric was not answering the phone for Patrick. Everybody ghosted Patrick. Nobody would answer the phone. Patrick got mad and went down there. Then it was the thing about the copper and all that. Well, I think now there's shoes on the other foot. Now I think they're not answering the phone for Eric. And I think their excuse when he finally drives up there, they're going to say, well, BJ had the phone in the camper. We didn't know. We didn't know you were calling. Because think about that. And then when he's talking, it'll make sense. I think he's mad. They're not answering the phone. all kinds of hell's breaking loose. But he's got to somehow tell us that it's such an emergency that he has to leave instead of just doing something that's reasonable, like telling them to handle it themselves. Anyway, go ahead, Eric.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to make this quick, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I know people are going to be
confused,
wanting to know more details, and I promise you'll get details as we can give them. I know there's going to be a million questions about this.
Secrets behind the scene.
Over the
that's
last
right.
24 hours, Patrick and I have been working on getting BJ served an eviction notice.
Oh,
and
first we've heard.
As of this morning, it has been completed. And I'm on my way to Odd, West Virginia, kind of unexpected and last minute. The Whitakers have expressed to us they don't feel safe, they feel threatened.
Keep this in mind, because he's going to tell you that they're not answering the phone, and when they do, they don't talk. So how are they telling you that they feel threatened? And you know what? If I was him and I'm a YouTuber and I just got home back to my home here in Minnesota and they call me and say, we don't really feel safe around our daughter all of a sudden, I would say, well, you need to get a hold of the police and tell them that, because I'm in my state and I'm home now. So, yeah, why would you jump in your vehicle and go? Just tell them to either handle it themselves, which they've done for, 120 years, I guess, the Whitakers. Tell them to just handle it themselves, and if they feel threatened, call the police. So why would you drive from Georgia all the way back to West Virginia because they're having a little family squabble? This makes no sense. Go ahead, Eric.
We'll get details as we can give them.
As they make them up.
There's going to be a million questions about this.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense.
Over the last 24 hours, Patrick and I have been working on getting BJ served an eviction notice. And as of this morning, it has been completed. And I'm on my way to Odd, West Virginia, kind of unexpected and last minute. The Whitakers have expressed to us they don't feel safe, they feel threatened. And
tell them to call the cops. Doesn't need to be there.
Last week, I got a call. Let me say, she doesn't really know me besides me just showing up and doing what I did for the family. I never sat down, never talked to BJ. This will be the second.
And this is a lie, because Patrick's got that text, and I showed you guys. But do you see how he's distancing himself? He's going to make sure right out of the gate that you think him and BJ don't even know each other. She's just calling me and trying to get $300 like she did to Mark. That's what he wants you to think. Well, obviously right now, we know this is all lies, because we've seen the text. We've seen the back and forth. You yourself said you're being chased for exposing stuff. And no, BJ didn't just go in jail last week. And so he's fudging all the details and all the facts to make his story, to make his story believable.
Over the last 24 hours, Patrick and I have been working on getting BJ served an eviction notice. And as of this morning, it has been completed. And I'm on my way to Odd, West Virginia, kind of unexpected and last minute. The Whitakers have expressed to us they don't feel safe, they feel threatened, and she just doesn't need to be there anymore. It's last week I got a call, and let me say, she doesn't really know me besides me just showing up and doing what I did for the family. I never sat down, never talked to BJ. This will be the second time I've gotten a call. Last week, she asked me for $300. And long story short, that week before I went and done all that stuff for the Whitakers, that was coming out of my pocket, guys. And I just said, BJ.
Which we now know is another lie. Because we've seen he himself show the receipts for $7,400 for 1 month of entertaining the Whitakers.
And long story short, that week before I went and done all that stuff for the Whitakers, that was coming out of my pocket, guys. And I just said, BJ, I don't have $300 to give you right now, nor would I anyway. But I said, I don't have $300 to give you. She hung up the phone on me. And I was like, wow, that's bold.
And I think that's what set him off. He's so angry. Remember, he gets livid. I think that she hung up the phone and said, "Are you going to give us our family?" Because at this point, listen, by August 26th, there has been June, July. There's been 3 paydays already of large paydays from the all this income. And so now BJ and her family have gone 3 paydays without getting a dime. And I think they demanded the money. And I think when she hung up, he says, "No, I'm not giving you guys anything." I think that's when he got so enraged that he's hopping in the truck and he's going to drive there and he's going to get to the bottom of whatever he's getting to the bottom to.
Right now, nor would I anyway. But I said, I don't have $300 to give you. She hung up the phone on me. And I was like, wow, that's bold. But I noticed later on that week, everything had been fine up until this point. I tried to call back the family, and I couldn't get them on the phone.
Okay. So up till last week, he's calling and he can't get the family on the phone. But you're also in the same breath, in this same video, less than a minute ago, 1.5 minutes ago, you just said that they're telling you how terrified they are of BJ. But like I said, pay attention because now he's going to say that not only did she hang up, they don't want to talk to him.
I don't have $300.
Nobody wants to talk to him.
Nor would I anyway. But I said, I don't have $300 to give you. And she hung up the phone on me. And I was like, wow, that's bold. But I noticed later on that week, everything had been fine up until this point. I tried to call back the family, and I couldn't get them on the phone. And I said, okay, something's weird. Or they went and talked to me once I got them on the phone. And I was like, yeah, that's weird. And I just had a weird feeling. Now, allegedly, everything I'm saying on here,
allegedly,
besides the things I'm telling you, I know 100% it's what happened. But I was told this past week she got the phone. They have a house phone. They don't have a cell phone. There's no signal out there. And she locked that phone inside of her camper where the family can't get to it. Everyone in that family has heart problems.
And like I said from the beginning, Eric could have just taken them tens of thousands of dollars and pulled out $30 and bought him a landline with 2 receivers. But that's not really what it's about. It's not about the Whitakers not having their phone overnight, because that sounds like a family squabble that they should handle on their own. Are you going to drive 10 hours to another state to solve somebody's problem about them hogging the phone overnight? Like I said, none of this justifies an emergency and restraining orders and driving back to the Whitakers for more Airbnbs.
Things I'm telling you, I know 100%.
And whenever he says allegedly and all that other stuff and does these air quotes, you really gotta be skeptical.
Yeah, that's weird.
And he keeps saying everything is weird. It's weird. They won't get the phone. They won't pick up the phone. That's weird. It's weird. Well, that doesn't justify all this. So, okay, weird or not,
something's weird. Or they went and talked to me once I got them on the phone.
Right.
Like,
take a clue.
That's weird. And I just had a weird feeling. Now, allegedly, everything I'm saying on here, allegedly, besides the things I'm telling you, I know 100% it's what happened. But I was told this past week she got the phone. They have a house phone. They don't have a cell phone. There's no signal out there. And she locked that phone inside of her camper where the family can't get to it. Everyone in that family has heart problems. Lorraine is 78 years old. She's had stents. She's had heart attacks. Betty's had a heart attack. They need that telephone. We're not playing games with stuff like this.
And they've all gotten by just fine their whole entire life, 80 years without Eric coming to tell them who can have the phone at night.
That's dangerous.
Dangerous. Oh, well, you should call in the SWAT and maybe some Navy SEALs. This is such ridiculous.
Years old. She's had stents. She's had heart attacks. Betty's had a heart attack. They need that telephone. We're not playing games with stuff like this. That's dangerous. Okay? And
now, so far he hasn't had anything about abuse. The abuse stuff will be tomorrow, okay? So far, all he's got is BJ wants money. He just talked to BJ for the first time last week, which is a lie. All right, fighting with BJ about money. They're not answering the phone. BJ's got the phone. They're not answering. When they do answer, they don't want to talk to Eric. Nothing about abuse yet. That's not even till tomorrow. So far, we got the what ifs. Yesterday was the what ifs. What if something happens and Timmy has to go to a home? So we need Social Security cards and all his papers and paperwork. Today, it's they won't give the phone, and that's dangerous, and they don't want to talk to me, and they're asking for money. None of these are emergencies. See how it's escalating? Yesterday, it's the what ifs. Today, it's they won't give him the phone, that's dangerous. Tomorrow, it's going to be a whole bunch of stories about BJ hitting people in the head with shoes. But so far, we don't even have that. August 26th. See how it's escalating from nothing to something?
Betty's had a heart attack. Mm-hmm. They need that telephone. We're not playing games with stuff like this. That's dangerous. Okay?
And you don't think if Betty was having if anybody's having a medical emergency, that they could pound on the camper and say, hey, Betty's having another heart attack. Give us the phone. We got to call 911. You don't think BJ would do that? Oh, goodness gracious. He injects himself into everybody's families, you know what I mean? And in the meantime, he hasn't seen his wife and kids since spring?
No signal out there. And she locked that phone inside of her camper where the family can't get to it. Everyone in that family has heart problems. Lorraine is 78 years old. She's had stents. She's had heart attacks. Betty's had a heart attack. They need that telephone. We're not playing games with stuff like this. That's dangerous. Okay.
So far, the phone is the worst dangerous thing here.
Amongst other stuff. Larry is feeling threatened. All right. I question myself whether to put this out there.
Because it's so stupid how Larry is worried that BJ's going to go to the police. See, he's got to have everybody being threatened. So this is their first thing. And this is such a stupid story. And this is straight out of dad talk because they talk about being falsely accused of SA. So now he's going to say that, and just think about it. Anybody believe this?
But I think it's important, and there's a reason why. I mean, it just has to.
There is a reason why, because in order for this to work, to have BJ put away, because he is so angry right now with BJ. He wants her evicted and all this stuff. But he's also, in order for this to work, everybody in that house has to be in some type of danger of BJ. And the rest of them he can say they're hitting everybody else with the shoe, but it might not be believable. So it's got to be some type of threats done to Larry. So this is what he made up for Larry's story.
For his safety. I think Larry gets unfairly judged a lot for what his daughter does. Okay? But it's his daughter. He loves her. He doesn't love the things she does. But he's getting caught up in the mix. And I've heard this from his own grandchildren.
And he wants you to believe that Larry's grandchildren are running to Eric to tell these horror stories of their family. Anybody believe this? The grandchildren are running up to this stranger who's out of his mind, apparently. And they're telling him all these horror stories. Like
that if he doesn't do what she tells him.
The grandkids are saying this. And they, look, that was not only just an air quote and an allegedly, it was a combination air quote allegedly. Just check this out.
He's getting caught up in the mix. And I've heard this from his own grandchildren, that if he doesn't do what she tells him, allegedly.
That was a combo allegedly air quote. And now you know he's bullshitting.
She will say, I'm going to tell the cops that you raped me.
Real believable.
You don't have to prove anything like that.
No,
you just got to make
just say anything and they just go to prison. No matter
if you can prove it wasn't true, it carries a lot of weight. Your life will never be the same.
I mean, anybody else thought when first time you heard this how stupid that was? Like, well, once she says it, you just go to the police and say, hey, my daughter keeps saying if I don't steal gas, she's going to falsely accuse me of SA. The cops would say, well, all right, thanks, we'll write that down, and if she comes in, she better have some proof, all right? She just blew her, her story. And none of this made sense. For the first time I heard it, and I've heard it many times, it still makes even less sense. So, go ahead.
And so he's done things he doesn't want to do, i.e., taking gas from someone's house about 4 months ago.
Yeah. That wasn't 4 months ago. It was actually June of 2024. And the gas that he's taken from Patrick is because you guys won't pay them, and he's got to steal $3 worth of gas and beg you for some snuff because you're hanging on to tens of thousands of dollars. By August 26th, you and your own admission owe him tens of thousands of dollars. But yeah, he's got to steal a can of gas.
Wasn't his. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to do it, but it was for her. And if you don't do it, there's gonna.
They were both out of gas. Okay, well, I showed the video where they ran out of gas and they're coasting downhill, and they find somebody's house that they know, and they grab the gas can and they try to put it. Do you really think that day that Larry stole that gas because BJ was going to falsely accuse him of SA? That's what he just told you. He said the only reason Larry stole that gas with BJ is because she was going to falsely accuse him of SA. No. They took it because they ran out of gas and the vehicle stopped running. We saw it on video. But yeah, he just tried to change that story.
I.e., taking gas from someone's house about 4 months ago that wasn't his. He didn't want to do it, but it was for her. And if you don't do it, there's going to be consequences. I'm told there's other stuff that's been going.
So right there's a lie. We saw the video. They ran out of gas. It wasn't a blackmail situation. They both ran out of gas. They didn't want to walk. It wasn't a blackmail situation. See how it's one lie after the next? Keep going.
Going on that if you don't give me money or if you don't do what I want you to do, there's going to be consequences. Therefore, the Whitakers want their home back.
Lies.
They want to be safe. If you get your stuff, you get your camper, and get out of there, we'll be okay.
No, you'll be okay. And the Whitakers never show up for these appointments and all this. Obviously, they don't have no problem with BJ. But no, he'll be okay. If you get BJ out of there, he'll be okay. Because he wants to get at Timmy. And I think BJ might be trying to stop him from getting at Timmy too. She's probably calling him out about not paying the family for the last 3 months while he lives high on the hog. Right in front of everybody. Buys them gifts with their own money and forces them to say thank you. I mean, unbelievable.
Therefore, the Whitakers want their home back. They want to be safe. If you get your stuff, you get your camper, and get out of there, we'll be okay. I have a security guard.
We will be okay. Before
any of this took place, we made sure we have a security guard that's going to be there.
The security guard that he's going to tell later to leave as the APS hauls them away. But anyway.
Property 24 hours a day.
I digress.
This has been handled. Maybe even after that. I've never fundraised in this community. If I have
Here we go.
Soon it's because we're paying for someone around the clock.
Now they're going to fundraise for the security guard that he's going to kick out. And then he's also going to fundraise for that Airbnb, a 5-bedroom Airbnb that not one Whitaker stayed at except Timmy.
If you don't do it, there's going to be
grooming him.
I'm told there's other stuff that's been going on that if you don't give me money or if you don't do what I want you to do, there's going to be consequences. Therefore,
that just sounds more like what you're doing.
The Whitakers want their home back. They want to be safe. If you get your stuff, you get your camper, and get out of there, we'll be okay. I have a security guard that before any of this took place, we make sure we have a security guard that's going to be there on the Whitaker's property 24 hours a day until this has been handled. Maybe.
And so far, because she won't give the phone to Larry, and when she does give the phone to Larry and Betty, they won't talk to Eric. So you got to get a security guard, eviction notices, restraining orders. Because so far, all we know is that she won't give them the phone. When she does give the phone, they might have heart attacks. And if they do get the phone, they don't want to talk to him. And he claims that BJ is forcing Larry to blackmailed him to steal that gas last summer. Lie after lie after lie.
Even after that, I've never fundraised in this community. If I have to, sometime soon, it's because we're paying for someone around the clock to make sure no one comes on that porch. Because, guys, I don't know how this is going to be taken, but I can tell you this, we're not playing around. That's why I'm in this car right now, about to make a 10-hour trip, and I'm on my way to Odd, West Virginia to make sure they've got eyeballs on it. Patrick's up there, guys. He's been busting his butt on it, but Patrick can't walk right now. So I told him, let me come up. I can help you more when I'm there. And on top of that, I was supposed to be helping Patrick. Patrick's got a project home, guys. He's got no walls, no insulation.
He's had no walls since he bought the place over a year ago. So why is this an emergency too? So far, what they won't talk to you on the phone, and it's just nonsense.
He's got
Patrick has no walls.
Some outer walls, but on the inside, if it snowed right now, it would be like him sitting outside.
How did he make it through last winter?
And we're trying to figure out like how to get him taken care of.
Oh, now we got to take care of Patrick.
Take care of the Whitakers, but now he was helping take care of the Whitakers. Now he's down and out.
Do you see how he just produces all these emergencies? He like manufactures them.
So we need to make sure he's taken care of.
He's an emergency factory.
It's been a pretty big headache, but you know, that's life, man.
Yeah, it's your life.
You get it done. Numero
not my life.
Now is we need to get her out of that house. The people in the local area, please help us keep an eye on it. I'm putting this out in the
Actually, they ended up keeping an eye on you, didn't they, Patrick or Eric?
Public, so people know that's
they
what
get their
we're
names
to do,
mixed up,
and that's what we're doing. And by God, we mean it.
Yeah.
Get your stuff, get out.
Get your stuff.
You had every chance in the world.
You could have gave him that phone back.
Pay 100% for rehab. There seemed to be no desire there.
And that was a celebrity rehab that like celebrities go to.
At this point, they're not going to feel threatened in their own home, and we are not going to get a new home, and people come around there and trash it or think they're going to reap the benefits of it. No. We told you guys from the very beginning, we were watching this like a hawk, and we have been. And you didn't know any of this was going on.
Right there. No, we didn't know anything was going on because you haven't been honest about anything. Anything all summer. You or Patrick, neither one of you have been honest about anything. You could have told us.
Going to reap the benefits.
As a matter of fact, how come you didn't tell us, Eric? Why didn't you guys tell us all this stuff a month ago when this was all happening?
At this point, they're not going to feel threatened in their own home, and we're not going to.
Not till you get there.
People come around there and trash it or think they're going to.
Once he shows up, they'll be threatened.
No, we told you guys from the very beginning. We were watching this like a hawk, and we have been. And you didn't know any of this was going on, but
we know now.
We've been handling it the whole past 24 hours. This is what we've been working on. Patrick was working on having somebody there to make sure. It took her a while to get home. It wasn't until this morning, but she's been served, and I'm on my way to Odd, West Virginia. So you guys say some prayers for us. When I can give you more updates on it later, I will. Just as I said from the very beginning, I hope you trust us.
That is so weird. I hope you trust us. Like, who says that? Trust you to do what? Go make sure the phone is not in BJ's camper? Trust you for what? Yeah, you do hope everybody trusts you, isn't it? Because if they don't trust you, none of this is going to work, is it, Eric? So there you go. That's how it went from a normal Sunday where all they had to worry about is somebody duplicating their page. Started with the what ifs. What if Timmy ends up in an orphanage? And the next day it's, they're hanging up the phone on me and they won't talk to me. I got to head over there. And he lied about why they stole that gas. We saw it with our own eyes. Why they took it? Because they ran out of gas. Not because anybody blackmailed anybody. Anyway, thanks for listening. And it's kind of another long one. But anyway, that was the first time. That's where everything changed on a dime. Thanks for listening. Peace.